Top of the morning to you. I hope you're all fine and dandy and staying ahead of the game. Remember, it is a game and each one of us must play our part. Thank you for joining me again, and we're in the wonderful city of Jerusalem, Edinburgh, and we're using the Google Earth software, heading over the Royal Mile, heading south, east towards the Palace of Holyrood, and of course the great Arthur's Seat sits in the background in the Salisbury Crags, just there. But if anybody has been watching my posts of route lately, you will know that this here, what we understand as the Holyrood Palace, is the holy route which Osiris, Christ and each one of us must take to reach the house of Aries and find that golden fleece which allows us to move into the upper realms. And of course, if you have been keeping a close eye on my posts and my Facebook pages, you will know that this here is not only the body of Osiris, Jonah in another age, and also the body of the risen Christ. It represents the body of the Christ, and this is the Dome of the Rock, the head, which is Aries. And yeah, the great hall sits on the great face and the great head of Osiris, and everything here is built around Osiris. And I'll put some images in showing you the Egyptian Osiris with the shepherd's crook, which is here, and this is the shepherd's crook here, and the flail is over here, and the flail is like the whip, which is similar to what we see in the US Parliament. They have the fascia, or the fasces, the symbol of the wrappings of Bernicia in the heavens, and this is seen as the shepherd's whip. And of course Osiris is buried and shown with the whip, and that's why the Waverley station, the Waverley train station, which is Edinburgh's main train station, it goes underground and it disappears out and then heads south down to the underworld, down into the belly of the great beasts and the great fish. So Edinburgh is not what we think it is. This is the body of a giant, and that giant was seen as Osiris in the days of the kingdoms of Egypt. The body was also seen as Jonah, and the word Jonah means dove, which means peace, of course, and this is where we get the idea of the city of peace. Jerusalem, the city of peace, the rock of peace. And yeah, I do enjoy Edinburgh Rock. And here, as we move down the body, this is the head. Of course, the stadium here, the open air stadium, is used quite a lot. We use them for the military tattoo, but this would be the neck of Osiris, or the neck of the risen Christ, with the sun rays and what have you around it. And yeah, this is St Giles Cathedral. This is the original Jewish holy temple, and of course Elizabeth Windsor was brought down the spine of Albion from the North Celestial Pole, from Heaven's Gate, from the area known as the House of Cetus, which is Balmoral, and she was brought down the main road, crossing over the Forth Road Bridge, before her body was interned and kept at the mouth of the great fish. Yes, which Carlton Hill here is the mouth and the jawbone of this great fish, and of course Salisbury Crags is the mouth, the opening of the mouth, and was seen as such because that's what the landmass is. We have the eye of the fish right here at Loch End at Hibernian Stadium. And the interesting thing about Hibernian Stadium is it was started by a Catholic, Hibernia, and this this area here has Cetus the Beast. And if we look at Ireland, and let's turn Ireland to its a westerly sort of view, and what we're actually looking at there is Cetus the Beast. Graham K. Griffiths had a book, has a book out, and it's called, let me get it right now, Behold Jerusalem. And on his cover he seems to have Ireland as just a how would you put it, a storm. And the reason why is because it is Cetus, Cetus the Beast. And this was Upper Egypt, and Cetus or Set ruled Upper Egypt, and Set is Cetus the Beast, also Sirius, the dog star, Set or Seth. But yeah, Ireland is the beast, and I'll overlay Cetus the Beast, and we see Cetus the Beast in many places in the UK on standing stones, and I'll put a couple of images in here showing Cetus the Beast, the Kraken, which is the duality of Set. I said this in a previous recording. If you are familiar with the movie, the Hollywood movie, of course, Hollywood, the holy root, the Hollywood, the tree, the Hollywood movies always tell us everything. And if you're familiar with the Gods of Egypt movie, in that movie, Set or Seth, sets about killing everyone, and in doing so he takes their power and becomes this personified beast, which is of course Cetus. But he begins his journey as the normal Set, which is Sirius. And Ireland is the Northern Kingdom, and this is quite difficult for most people to take, especially the Irish, because we've been given this proud, the Scots, the Irish, the Welsh, of who we are, and we should be proud of who we are. The word Egypt simply means the children of Enki, Egypt. Egyptus is a Greek word. It's not Egyptian, but Egyptus, Egyptus, is the study of Greek and lesser gods, and that's what the word Egyptus meant. And if you look at the Greek mythology, you actually find that there is a god called Egyptus, and this is where the Tuath Danann, or the Dagda, the Tuath Danann and the leading god, the Dagda, also known as Zeus or Jupiter, came down and taught the people of Egypt, as we call them today, Ireland, the religion of the lesser gods. And Irish people don't like this at all. I don't like the fact that my history has been screwed up, and I've been lied to as well, but this is the harsh facts. This is the Upper Nile, and this is the Nile Delta, coming through here, through to the Pleiades and through to Aries, right through into the Dead Sea. And this here is the true biblical Dead Sea. The North Sea is the Dead Sea. And it talks about in the Bible that in those days that a valley will open up in Himon, or a great valley will open up and the waters will pour in. And this area, this entire area will open up if biblical prophecy is true, and it has been thus far. So this area, which is a fault line, and this area here, which is where the Hydra is, this area is a fault line, and the likelihood of this having earthquakes and this opening up and bursting open and flooding is highly possible. And Jerusalem will once again be surrounded, or Edinburgh, which is Jerusalem, will be surrounded with water, and we will see the great fish spewing out the man of Aquarius, as we have seen time and time and time and time again, because this is what the body, as we began this recording, this is what the body is here. The body is the great son of God's story being birthed from the underworld, from death. I hope this makes some sense, and we'll throw another recording in soon. I just want to say here before we finish, you might be thinking, what's the big triangle? And the head itself of Osiris, the Christ, the risen one, which is your consciousness, is held in this giant pyramid to the Vatican, to religion, to the Vatican Square, which is a giant thistle, by the way. Sorry about the, but again, the Scottish thistle, which represents the pineal gland. And yeah, this is St. Peter's Basilica, Kiefer, Peter, the house of Cetus, and this goes to all the way to Portugal, and from Portugal, the port of the Gale, to the Royal Ark of Freemasonry headquarters right here in Edinburgh. And here we have the Royal Masonic Lodges around here. All this area here, there are Masonic Lodges. Let's see if we can get borders and levels, places and roads. They are here. I'm not sure where, but yeah, Masonic Lodges and stuff are right there. It wasn't really about that, but, and of course Scots Monument is right here too, and you have all these needles. But the head of Osiris, the Christ, the dome of the rock is sitting right in the middle of the pyramid. And of course some say that the body of Christ is buried in the third pillar, or in one of the pillars at Roslin Chapel, and Roslin Chapel and the Pennycook area also sit within this top pyramid, within Pisces and under Cetus the Beast. Okay, time to go.